Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Kings of Cricket, our special World Cup presentation. I'm Shivani Gupta, and well, it looks like the first time India was put into bat first in an innings in this World Cup, they have faced a wobble of sorts because the famed Indian batting lineup was controlled, and very well so, by the English bowlers who've been having a woeful tournament so far. And India was restricted to just 229 in their 50 overs. So a target of just 230. I do say just, with a caveat that sometimes even these chases can be difficult. And of course, if there's any bowling unit in this World Cup that will feel they can defend even a lowly target of 230, it is this bowling lineup led by Jasprit Bumrah. Let's introduce our experts joining us. Murli Karthik is with me in the studio. Graham Swan is joining us, former English cricketer. Venkatesh Prasad, Ayaz Memon, all with us. We'll also be joined with Mohinder Amarnath, 1983 World Cup winner. So Graham, it looks like all your dreams have come true, at least as far as the first innings is concerned. You couldn't have asked for more as far as a good English performance is concerned.
Hallelujah, that's what I say. We've been waiting for this in the UK for, 4 or 5 weeks now. And finally, England have delivered with the ball. This is not an easy pitch, and it won't be an easy chase. But boy, if you'd offered me 230 at the start of the day for a chase on any wicket, I'd have bitten your arm off. So England will be delighted. The bowlers were all good, especially the spinners, Adil Rashid. I always have, obviously, myself and Murli Karthik, we always look at the spinners more than anyone else. And I was very delighted with the way Adil Rashid bowled today, causing problems with spin and variance of pace. But an all-round effort, and like we said at the start of the programme, often a team who are backs against the wall. 3 Lions with their backs against the wall, Karthik said, and they're a dangerous enemy. So far, so good. I'm touching wood, though, here, because I'm not writing off this Indian bowling attack because they're exceptional.
Absolutely.
But so far, so good for England.
Karthik?
No,
sometimes when it rains, it pours. None of their bowlers were looking good, and now suddenly 3 of them were looking very good in today's match.
Look, it's, again, there is nothing to take away from the fact that they are a very good side.
Yes.
Just because they've had 5 poor games, they don't suddenly become a bad side, or because they're at the bottom of the table, they suddenly become a bad side. It's just that sometimes few things don't click. You look at their batting lineup, they bat till number 8. Everybody can bat, and everybody can literally punish the opposition. And for them to be not firing was a bit of a surprise. Yes, as Swani and me have mentioned, they're a wonderful bowling lineup, but Indian conditions demand something different. But Indian conditions, the pitches, the margin for error on certain wickets.
So what is it that they did so differently? Because this was a traditional Indian pitch.
Look, if you look at the way the balls moved around, initially they did try a bit. They were voked. You said woeful, but they were voked initially because of the way Chris Woakes bowled.
Yeah.
Chris Woakes, if the ball's moving and if he gets his radar right, he can trouble anybody. We saw some of the deliveries literally swinging or seaming from right up underneath the batter's noses. So that made things different. And also, India couldn't get off to the kind of start they wanted. They were always under pressure. Yes, you can always question. Many people will say this is why we need the extra batter, but no, you can have 11 batters and still only get 150 runs.
No, I'm not sure if it was that bad a start to justify, getting all out for 229.
Some of the shots they chose.
Yeah,
some of the shots after being set.
Rohit Sharma again got an 80 odd today.
No, forget Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma was later, but people before that. Because on a track like this, ask any batter, once you're set, it's actually easier. It's the new batter who's going to find things difficult, and then you are asked, because they don't have many overs left, you have to come in and start getting a move on. So you will always question the guys who are set. What are they doing? You need to be there till the end.
Yes, Rohit Sharma, I think the situation in which he got out, possibly feeling the pressure of having to accelerate the run rate and then got holed out, in the field. Jimmy Paji is also joining us. Jimmy Paji, we talked a lot about what the English bowlers are not doing right and what the English batsmen are doing very well. But what did you make of the Indian batting today? It looked like it was a little bit difficult. The ball was not fully coming onto the bat in the initial stages. But as Karthik is saying, did you feel that some of the shots that they played were poor?
I think usually happens when runs are not coming, and I think if you look at all the English bowlers and the way they have bowled and the length they have bowled, it shows that the ball is not really coming onto the bat. It's not the wicket which you can play on the up, and you have to play a waiting game. You have to bat till the end and all that. That's the only way probably you can put some runs on the ball. I won't really blame batsmen. You do take some risk, you make some mistakes, and if it doesn't work your way, then it looks ugly. So, but anyway, I think I personally feel 230 is not a bad score at all, because if you see Rashid and Moin Ali, the way they really bowled and they contain the Indian batsmen and all that thing. So it shows that the Indian spinners will be, hoping that they'll get the same purchase out of the wicket. But I think Bumrah probably is the key over here when you're defending a small total, because he's the one who really keep the ball stump to stump, and anything can happen. And this is not the wicket, as I said earlier, you can just go and play bang, bang over here. You have to play a waiting game. So I think it depends how English batsmen take a challenge over here, how well they apply themselves. Because looking at them in the previous game, they just want to go and dominate. But that is not the wicket, I think, where it's possible to do that. So I think we have an interesting game over here. I would still back India to win this game.
Okay, still bad India to win this game, and that would need a great bowling performance. But Venki, I want to understand from you, we discussed so much of the English bowling lineup, how they are world class but possibly not in Indian conditions, and they, as you said, they haven't really shown the adaptability. What according to you they did right today?
I think they pitched the ball up, Shivani. That's what I feel they did. In fact, earlier on, the last 5 games, they were erratic. I was the one who said in the pre-show that they were erratic. They were not disciplined enough. They were bowling on both sides or too short at times, giving width to the batters at times. So they didn't work as a team, the bowling unit, I think. But this game here at Lucknow, and having won the toss and chose to field, I think they bowled in the right areas. And if you look at the areas that they all bowled those length deliveries. I think, yes, there was a bit of movement. There was seam movement, and there was a bit in the pitch as well. There was a bit of juice as well. So I guess they hit the right lens. And if you look at so today they were extremely disciplined. And the first wide, I was just going through the scorecard. The first wide ball that in the England innings came in the 44th over. Till then, there was just 4 byes. That's about it. Yeah, otherwise there was no extra deliveries or extra runs that was given. So they were extremely disciplined, bowling stump to stump and bowling those good length to just back of length. Normally what most of the bowlers in test matches tend to do, or even in the one days as well, like a Bolt or Bumrah or something like that. These guys, they just bowl stump to stump, or even Mohammad Shami as well. You can see them in the second innings hitting those areas consistently, and that's exactly what the English bowlers did. They kept asking questions to the Indian batters. There was not much of feet movement. We saw that with Shubman Gill, there was not much of feet movement. And of course, yes, there were a couple of rash shots from Virat Kohli and Shreyas Iyer. I guess once you get a start, especially from KL Rahul, I think they should have continued. Again, another rash shot, which where he threw away the advantage that he had.
Yes, I mean, there were, of course, at least 3 Indian batsmen, Ayaz, that got starts. Of course, there's Rohit Sharma at the top of the order. He definitely looked like he felt the pressure of accelerating and maybe started a little bit too soon in the innings, in the 36th or 37th over. You've obviously got KL Rahul, who got a 39, got set, was looking good. Surya Kumar Yadav eventually was the hope to see India through the 50 overs. He got a 49, and then again, in the efforts to accelerate, got caught. So, questions asked of the Indian team. We were waiting for this. If they put into bat first, how the Indian team is going to face up against a decent attack. What did you think were the answers today?
Well, I think it's a mixed bag where the answers are concerned. But I thought actually, Rohit Sharma played a masterly knock, considering that there was not, there was help in the pitch for the bowlers, the fast bowlers as well as the spinners. I thought England's success came in the way they bowled in the first power play. They were so restrictive. They bowled a very good line. They got movement, and then they got Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill. That puts you on the back foot. And Rohit Sharma had to rethink his strategy, not go the way he usually goes, and he settled down to playing the sheet angle, which was so important. Rahul giving him company. I thought the fielding was absolutely brilliant.
But for one drop catch.
But for one dolly drop by Moin Ali. But Virat's wicket was a result of the pressure they put on him by just not giving him a run. He looked to be in good form, but you get frustrated when you're in such good form and you're not getting a run.
No, but the shot that actually Virat Kohli played, sorry to interrupt you, was exactly the shot of a man who thinks he's in great touch. But sometimes in that confidence, in that sense, you end up playing a shot where you don't really give the respect to the pitch or the conditions where the ball was not coming onto the bat.
That's right. I think it was a sign of overconfidence, impetuosity, impatience. You call it what you want, but it landed India into trouble. And now what has happened is that India finished with a modest score. I won't say it's a really low score. If you have a very good power player, you pick up, and Bumrah is a key factor here, pick up a couple of early wickets, England will start feeling the heat because this batting lineup hasn't been in great form either, England's. If it was 280, 290, I would have said India had a very good chance of winning on this pitch. 228, 230, it just gives England that much more opportunity to pull off a win. But it will depend a lot on how they play out the first power play. And then, of course, Kuldeep Yadav, who I think could be a trump card here for India.
Yes. Swani, this is what we were discussing as well earlier. But if they've done it with the ball, they would have their tails up, isn't it? Their batting lineup would also be hungry because this is not the kind of total that puts a lot of run rate pressure on you. You can indeed take your time. You can plan your innings. And they would be hungry to do so, these world-class batsmen in the English lineup.
Absolutely. The issue for England here comes with they're now expected to win. From us back in the UK, they're the clear favourites to win this game from an England point of view. And that puts a different pressure on an underperforming batting lineup. I have a feeling that England won't come out and be sensible and try and bat slowly and diligently for 50 overs. I have a feeling that one person will go out there, maybe a Bairstow, and try and be very aggressive, and the other people will bat round him. So when you're chasing a low total, if you have one man who is aggressive and comes off, it makes that very easy to chase. However, I would recommend playing an old-fashioned type of cricket here, saying we have 50 overs to get 230 runs to haul ourselves maybe back into this competition. Let's go out and make sure we do that. It doesn't matter about the run rate. Don't lose wickets early on. Keep wickets in hand. Get Joe Root 50 balls in the bank, Ben Stokes 40 balls in the bank to then go on. But I can tell you, I've been in teams where you've lost a few games in a row where you feel like you should have won. The confidence goes, and this 230 will look like 300 to England at the minute. They won't be sitting there going, oh my God, we've only chasing 230. Walk in the park. A confident team would think that. England are not confident. So this is by no means an easy chase.
Yeah. Mentally, this is, even otherwise, not just for the English side, even otherwise, a total like this can always be tricky, as we've seen in many, many matches before. Yeah, and against a bowling lineup like India.
Yeah, it's a good bowling lineup, and also given the wicket. And hopefully for India, there is no dew. Because once dew falls, then everything becomes easy. We saw that against Australia. It was not the easiest of surfaces at Chennai, but even after being 3 down, India still could chase down because things got easier. So similarly, India would be hoping that the amount of turn which the spinners from England got, they can get, provided the ball stays dry.
But Swani, you mentioned about the approach. You said that maybe one of the English batsmen would look to kind of, play their natural game and hit it out of the park and maybe just make, in the first 10, 12 overs, make it impossible for India to get back in. So this is going to be a great test, and we were discussing this earlier about the approach. Some of it was confused from the English team in the previous matches. This chase will tell us exactly which approach they truly believe in.
Absolutely. And I say they have to be aggressive. I mean, if I was in that dressing room, I would be saying, look, we got to the position where we won the World Cup and got back to near the top of the world game by being aggressive, by not being timid. This is sort of put your money where your mouth is. This is like man or mouse time. Are you going to go out there and try and seize the day, carpe diem, and win this game? Or are you going to try and squeak over the line? Personally, if it was me, I'm someone who likes to roar. I would like to win this game quickly and be quite dominant to get confidence back. However, that is a little bit like, screaming as you jump off a mountain. It's the fear factor that makes you be aggressive. So I think that England will. People like Bairstow and Livingstone, they don't know any other way to play. They need to be aggressive. If they go into their shells, I don't think they can do it. Root and Stokes, yes, they can bat 150 balls and win the game. But the other guys around, I would say, no, you be aggressive and we'll have the sensible heads at the other end to try and see us over. But you can probably sense the panic in my tone already. This is not an easy chase, and my hair's falling out as I sit here.
Yeah, you've gone as far as Livingstone, which means India's getting stuck into the English batting lineup. I like that.
Yeah, they've got 5 wickets at least.
No, but this is very interesting because Jimmy Paji, this is where this is a real dilemma, because the trouble for England is this is not an ordinary match for them, in the sense that they cannot quite come out all guns blazing and see how it goes, because things can get away from you in that situation against a bowling lineup and a fielding lineup like India. they have no scope for any mistakes. If England lose another match, that is it. That is done and dusted for them. So do you think that can put them in a little bit of dilemma, exactly the kind of panic and pressure that Graham Swan is talking about?
No, I think I like what Swani said actually. I think they need to play their normal game, especially one of the batters. Because I think what happens in India when the wicket is slow, because you're bound to miss time those big shots. It's not easy. Maybe, and the plus thing, I think after this fresh roller, maybe the wicket will play well for first 5 to 10 overs. That is the time I think they have to encash on it. Because I don't think the ball is going to do too much over there. And it may just come nicely onto the bat and also, but you have to play cricketing shots over. You cannot go and slog and play. This is not the wicket. You have to be technically sound and give a good start, because I'm sure the India is going to attack here. And I won't be surprised if they have a couple of fielders in the slips, to take early wickets and put pressure. And this is one wicket. I think if you lose one, maybe you can lose 2, maybe 3 in succession and all that. So anything can happen over here. So from English point of view, I think the one batter has to go and take a charge and basically play normal cricket and maybe play a little bit aggressive, but with a purpose.
Yeah.
And the other guys should rally around him. They have the players. It's not that they don't, because Stoke is very important for this game. Root is important. Bairstow is important. But you have to stick around and bat till the end. But I don't think England should look for bat for 50 overs. If they bat for 50 overs, I think then India will have an upper hand.
Yes.
So they have to score runs in first 15, 20 overs and losing not many wickets, maybe 1 or 2 wickets, then they can control the game.
Yeah, if they really want to get their confidence back, they would want to win this in a very dominant fashion. That will maybe set the road a little bit easier for them as far as the remaining do-or-die matches are concerned. But let me also speak a little bit about the England batting lineup, the Indian batting lineup, I beg your pardon. The questions that we were looking for, if there is a slip-up that happens, Karthik, you look at what, after you lost Gill, you lost Virat Kohli quickly. This was a brilliant opportunity for Shreyas Iyer to really get in and kind of, make the match his own. He couldn't quite do it. As I mentioned, the others also had starts but didn't really see it off. Was there a question as far as the batting lineup is concerned that comes to mind?
Look, I wouldn't say it's a question. It's just that on a road like this, in a tournament like this, you're bound to have the odd game where people don't make the right choices. And it's about the right choices, because you're not batting on belters. This was not a belter. India has been put in tricky situations and they came up trumps. But this time around, you wanted somebody, as everybody's been mentioning, it's not the kind of surface where you go and start blasting. Rohit Sharma had to bide his time, and sometimes that also puts a bit of a confusion in your approach, because Rohit has liked to dominate. Shubman Gill has been in great form, and then suddenly you lose a couple of wickets. Virat Kohli coming on the back of runs, you think, oh, you can go and dominate, but sometimes the word you use is sometimes you have to respect what the wicket has in front of you. So it's not going to be that sort of a wicket, and hence I wouldn't blame Shreyas Iyer for it. It's just that, yes, as you rightly said, it was the perfect opportunity for him to possibly soak in a bit more pressure and then possibly show us his range of shots. But I just get the feeling nowadays that because there have been teams which have targeted him with short pitch stuff, and he's been working on his batting against short pitch bowling, he's taking it on. And sometimes you take it on at your own peril, and that's exactly what happened. It's the right choice that needs to be made. But again, having said that, India will take a lot from this. You need a game like this. You can't have easy victories. And even today, it's not, as everybody's been saying, it's a modest total, it's a middling total, and India can make it their own by bowling really well.
Yeah, and they don't really need to look too far. I mean, just in this World Cup, Venki, they've had superb performances. Every bowler who's been, given the job of a certain kind, of a certain type, in a certain situation has really come out trumps. Of course, Bumrah has done it, Shami has done it, Kuldeep Yadav has done it. Siraj, yes, maybe not so much amongst wickets and leaking some runs, but great opportunity for him again today.
Of course, absolutely. Shivani, the point is, for me, the game is in the second innings. If you had bowled first and if you had given 280 runs or 300 runs, it's up to the batters to score those runs. There's no complaints or no excuses given. And now the score is 229. You know that you have to defend 229. The equation is very, very clear. So what's the best thing that we can do? I think what Indian bowlers would be looking to do there, is to stick to a good line and length, bowl stump to stump, and look for early wickets. I think the only way you can stop the opposition is by taking wickets, and when it's a modest total of say 229. So I think that's what they will be looking at, and you can see some attacking field set that Rohit would be having for the bowlers. And now since they're going with just 5 bowlers, so it's a responsibility of every single bowler to be there on the money. As simple as that.
Yeah, in that sense, it's also a very good test of this Indian playing 11. Given that Hardik Pandya is not in this playing 11, they've been put in this situation where their 5 frontline bowlers have to do the job for them. And as Jimmy Paji seemed to believe that India still has the upper hand, I'll take it as 60-40. What is your equation as we just get set for the second innings?
I'd agree with him. I think that look, the way India had to struggle to reach 229, despite Rohit Sharma making an 80 odd, like KL Rahul getting 39. So it's not, it's not that a batsman just gets settled in and he can reach 100 or 90 so easily. You have to work hard for your runs. That means that the bowlers are getting a lot more opportunities to impose themselves on the proceedings in the middle. Now that is something that obviously the England batsmen have also seen. So they might tactically move around their stratagem accordingly. Though Swanee believes, and Jimmy also believes, it quite rightly, that you can't get overly cautious and defensive saying I've got 50 overs to get 229, you might land up in a right royal mess. You have to still play your natural game, make sure that the bowlers don't start imposing themselves on you, keep the run rate at a fair clip and get to your target. So I think it's going to be a competitive match, especially if the first power play yields India a couple of wickets.
Yeah. Swanee, we were talking about Virat Kohli, your favorite player, before the match. You did want him to get 100, although of 165 balls. I don't know what you said below your breath, but the man got out for a knot today. Tell me, who's the one player you're watching out for the English innings?
I was going to say Joe Root, but I don't want him to get naught. I think this chase really relies on one of the senior players, Stokes or Root. If one of those bats long and bats sensibly and gets an 80 like Rohit did, I believe that allows the aggressive players to bat around him. If those two fail, I believe that this modest score will become a very competitive score. Let's face it, 230 only 5 or 6 years ago would have been a very, very good total on any pitch. So it's the way the game has moved forward and the modern player, how they see this chase. They're not used to chasing smaller totals. They're normally very good at chasing 280, 300. But they don't really know how to go about chasing a lower total. So I don't think this is straightforward at all for England. And it's all down to the senior heads to say, right, you young pups, this is how you do it. Follow me for once.
Well, this is it. They have to do it today.
Swanee had a Virat doll with him.
You had a Virat doll? Oh my God. What is Karthik suggesting here?
No, I'm not into it.
He's my favorite player.
Well, let's hope we have another good innings. It was a very good competitive first innings. We do want a good match. For India, the comfort is that actually their place in the World Cup is not under threat. No. So they don't really have to be too bogged down either. And for England, it's the exact opposite. They don't really have much to lose. Might as well go and give it their everything.
Look, obviously for India, it's not a position of weakness at the moment, but still, you've been doing well. And I said this at the start of the pre-show. I said India has to guard against complacency. You're just one game away from turning any tide. It could go the other way around too. Just because you've had such a dominant performance till date doesn't mean that the wheels can't come off. And similarly for England, just because you've been pushed to the bottom of the table doesn't mean one good day can completely turn around the confidence and the belief, the collective belief. So India has to guard against it. India, it's not as if it's curtains for India. Just 2 wins away, seven wins will get you there. But it's about maintaining that streak. It's about maintaining the good habits. That's all it is.
Well, this is why we love sport, isn't it? Because you can never truly predict what happens. A side can look really down in the dumps and then turn it around one day. A side can look unbeatable.
99 Shivani.
Yes.
Shivani, 1999 World Cup. Birmingham, India, England.
Yeah.
The score was 232-ish. 232. India batted first. England won the toss. They fielded first. India scored 232. and they defended the score, and they won the. We won the game by 63 runs.
So that's your clue to what's happening today, isn't it? For you, it's 80-20.
Maybe.
I was hoping
Yeah, I
you'd
suppose.
know
I mean,
that.
Swanee, I'm sorry to bring that.
Well,
I'm
those
going to
will
be
be
watching
good.
like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to have no fingernails left by the end of this game.
Okay, save your fingernails, Swanee, and for the rest of our panel as well. Thanks a lot for joining us. A big thanks to our viewers for tuning in. Remember, we'll be right back after the result of the match. Who knows what happens, but let the best team win. Thanks a lot for watching.